Hello, 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 welcome back. We are here, we are resting. Let me turn my space here off because that's a little bit of ambient noise that I don't need right now. Um, it's the playthrough. I'm doing Calamity again because once again, the Calamity calls. The Calamity calls, and when the Calamity calls, you answer. So, that's what we'll be playing. A little bit of a three-tiered super boss and all that stuff. But what I'm talking about today is generally the outcast. I need to stop saying generally a lot. I notice it every time. Every time I open my mouth, it's always a generalization. Goodness gracious. Anyways, um, people who are outcast, people who are seen as the detriments of society, the why are they here kind of people. I'm gonna talk about not being of the world and why it's kind of a superpower, why it's a little crazy, and why you may feel like, it is sort of a drawback, but it can also be used as a superpower, just like everything else, can be alchemized into a good spell. And this one has a lot of potential, which is why it does seem like a huge anchor pull. It's kind of like when you get a crazy good nin ability at the beginning of the game, and you have to set huge conditions and to be able to use it correctly. And yeah, that's essentially what has occurred in my life. And of course, you can look back on the channel, I suppose, to get a little indication of what I mean here. But I don't really see too many YouTube ites do things like this to this nature. And I don't think it's because of lack of trying. I just think people are really scared of creating a story like this because I mean, I guess it's kind of a lot of work, but it's also, you have to trust yourself a lot. And you got to be a little bit relentless with uh, the activity that you do towards it, the obsession that you have towards it. And of course, I don't think that's a bad thing, but it is a bad thing when you put a lot of stock into the opinions and the thoughts of others, right? So yeah, essentially what we do here is this whole a mashup of Koopa-licious things. I don't know why I keep saying Koopalicious in every episode. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I like to mash up things. Right now we have Cave Story going on here, as you could probably tell by the intro. And this gameplay, we have Quote, Curly Brace, and Misery is somewhere over here. Oh, she's on the other side. She's running over there. And yeah, I do this basically all the damn time. And then eventually at some point we delved over into VTubers and content creators. And I'm just kind of connecting everything slowly but surely. And I think yeah, you gotta realize when you're kind of out there. So much so that people really don't know what to do, where to put you. And I've been getting this sort of signal my entire life. And I'd say this is the first sign that you are not of this world and that you can use to be great. Is that you're not afraid to be different. It's that you see the different things. You like have you ever heard of that story about the penguin? Who stops walking towards the sea. When you're born as a penguin, you're like, let's walk towards the sea to do, I don't know, see things as a penguin or whatever the fuck. And the penguin's just walking towards the sea with everybody else, and he's like, oh, let me turn around and we'll just go towards this mountain because why the fuck not? And yeah, that's how you kind of realize that you're not really for it specifically. That's the first indication really, and a lot of people listen to this. A lot of people don't vibe with it. I'm sorry if you hear me snoring. My dog's back here being he's being cute and chilling on my beanbag. Um, but yeah, it's something that you really have to realize in yourself where it comes from. I think is the main thing because a lot of people we are different, right? But the different being different comes from different reasons. Some people are different because of their circumstances or situations and their particular friend set. Some people are different because of the way they were grown up, just kind of forced them into that. But oftentimes, the reasons we become different can get mixed up into, not having a choice to do this or become this way. And we all have a choice to either conform or, deny the social aspect of just aligning with people and sort of maintaining the status quo. We all have, like our ability and reasons to do that. But just the fact that you are not afraid in general to uh, just get out of your own space and be different for basically virtually no reason. Like you don't have, you don't have some sort of specific, regard for things. You're just kind of like chilling out there and you're like, oh, I could do this because why not? That shows that you are really not of the world because it's a huge draw to mold yourself into a crowd, the belonging sense. And I think this whole aspect of not being afraid to be different forces you to sort of be the light to other people, to show them that they can indeed form their own light and soul through these different pathways that they could craft or create, because there's an endless ways to do this. It is just a simple YouTube thing, but also to do the Twitch thing, to do the whatever thing. And oftentimes you'll see a lot of people just falling in line with what is generally the status quo. And of course, if you do it the different way, like I said, the penguin, so funny because the penguin walking towards the mountain, man, you never know he's gonna make it. He's probably just gonna die. And then what happens when he gets to the mountain, right? Like he's probably gonna die there too. But that's the thing, man. When I get to the water of whatever YouTube success is normally there, like, will I really want it? And I do thank all of these wonderful creators for leading me and telling me what the natural ways are. But I did go to school for this, guys, and that was super freaking helpful. I'll tell you that. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But seriously, it did tell me exactly how most people make it, and what the core aspect of this social media thing really is. It's just consistency. I could do better SEO. I could do better streams. I could form, like a community in a more, easily digestible way. But this is how I want to challenge you guys. I don't want to make this accessible for the normiest normie. I want it to be accessible for, mostly the guys who were like me in my childhood, who saw the internet as a inherently dangerous place that I had to be on because I didn't belong anywhere else. And that is basically the first aspect of the whole situation, where you realize you're not of this world. So getting into the second thing, I'd say, is discernment. You naturally just see things, that are going on, and you don't really need to intellectualize it or really like talk about it, but you just see and understand that this is kind of, it's wrong, or this is right, or this person is out for me, or this person is not out for me. Like, you can detect that. And through my life, I've noticed that this intuition or discernment really has never been wrong. It's been inaccurate, sure, but like the core principles of it, I need to listen to more. And I notice a lot of times my self-hate comes from the fact that, I know I can see so much, and I just choose to forgive and move forward. And that is not helping anyone, especially not myself. That's basically you saying, to God, hey man, hey God, I know you gave me this gift to see everything, but fuck that. I still don't trust it. Your ass, you don't know what the fuck you did. How are you supposed to know? All these worldly people know. And that's kind of selfish. That's kind of conceited, if you think about it. So it's like kind of like a prideful thing when you don't trust yourself, when you don't trust your self discernment, when you're hateful, that you can just look at somebody and say, oh, they're being an asshole, because they probably are, but you don't want to be the rude person and call them out. And I'm not saying you have to call them out. You just have to know what you see in your heart is true. And the true strength here, and the true not being of the worldness, comes out in this next one. And it's that you don't, it's like you're powerful, right? But you don't need to show that you're powerful. Like, you have strength, but you don't care to acknowledge your strength. And that's because your strength doesn't come from the normal places. If you're not of this world, you're strong, right? But you didn't get it the way that normal people usually get strength. So you see, so strength is usually divided through the world, through perceptions, mostly reputation, social proof, if you will. And through a lot of my life, I got. So okay, so I'm a little weird in the way I receive social proof, is just from reactions. I honestly think if you are affecting someone, then you're good. Like that's it. It doesn't really need to be good. So for a lot of my life, I didn't really get good social proof. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I still really like just did my own thing, and decided, hey, I'm gonna at least protrude the aura that I love myself, even if I really don't, because I am affecting people, and I realize that a lot of people don't even get the benefits of affecting anyone, or changing anything. So yeah, that was the social proof that sort of led me on this track. It's not like everybody was necessarily saying, "Oh my God, you're amazing, you're awesome," but people did come up to me and say that. But you see, because of this discernment thing, I realized that a lot more people that didn't say anything to me harbored a lot of different feelings that were not as accurate as the people coming up with love. And even some of the people coming up with love were doing that just so they could solicit things from me. So it's a lot of different energies that you receive, not being of the world. And that's just because, yeah, you're not really looking or fishing for compliments. And as I move into my hermit state, where I'm trying to grind the YouTube algorithm and bring it up in my own way. And it's so weird how I call it a grind, because I really think if you want to be successful, it has to be something you're going to be able to do like for the rest of your life. So because of that, I've sort of just taken what I've been doing online, while also having jobs and doing my own thing, but what I've done to relax in the past, and I've sort of alchemized that into sort of a curriculum, if you will, sort of non-negotiables that just slowly pull me forward to the person I want to be, while at the same time trying to heal the little inner Koopa, the tiny inner shelled being who doesn't know what the fuck is going on now or in the future, in the present or in the past, and is just worried that that we're going too fast off the cliff. That I have to protect that guy. And through this process, I've sort of gained this level of just calm focus, because I'll do things like I'll hang out in streams like I usually do, just hang out casually and chill in the chat. Not really, because I'm more of a lurker type, and that was because I usually like gamed, or I would often listen to music a lot. But now that we have the channel, I just I hang out, but I try to be in chat a little bit more, just to put my name out there, because I feel like people already know about me, and the way I want to grow is sort of like by word of mouth, if you will. And not, like I said, do the whole attention thing and change my YouTube algorithm. Like I went to school for this, guys. I know how to grow a YouTube channel, but the main thing I want you guys to realize is that if you're doing anything and you are not of this world, you can't really rely on the same things that helped others grow. You have to do it in your own way, because you are inherently a different person. And so I know if I just change my SEO, if I started reaching out and advertising to people, if I started doing this and this and that, it just really wouldn't be me. It wouldn't really be what I naturally want to do. And what I naturally want to do is to just talk, speak my mind, hang out with people, but in a low stress environment. Because that's the thing, man. If I get too invested into chat or into discords, into servers, I want to help a lot more than I want to heal. And right now I notice I'm in a state where I have people who I'm healing, and inherently need me to heal myself in order to keep healing them, because heal people, right? So I notice that I'm not really where I want to be personally. And on top of that, what I'm naturally doing is getting me light. So I really don't need to force things at this point. I just need to allow myself the space to surrender into my natural otherworldly being state. And that is what we are actually doing here. So I'm all bringing it all the way back into Dragon Quest, right? So the story of the Calamity is this guy basically helped everyone win the war, destroy many calamities, and he is a warrior that just kind of never stopped fighting. And this battle at the end is to help him give up. It's to help him surrender to the light, to himself, basically, because this is a war that he no longer needs to suffice for. And that is what you need to do, my friend. If you are not of this world, if you've fought so hard to fit into something that just doesn't even belong to you, then it is now time to surrender. You have your greatest ally behind you. Koopa's here. He's going to help you too. And whatever you do, just know that all you need to do is take an action. You'll figure out the rest afterwards. I appreciate you. I love you. And I will see you next time.
My mama tried to help me, but I hardly ever listened, so she sent me to them white schools. I learned that I was different.